Hello and welcome to the TAP workshop about selling online. In this workshop, we'll talk about what you should sell online and where you can sell things online. When it comes to selling online, you should think about what you have that you no longer need or want, and do you think anyone might buy it? There's a demand for all sorts of different things. You'd be kind of surprised what people can sell. I actually once read about someone who collected motel soap. So there's markets for a lot of things. So if you have something you don't need or want anymore and you think it might be worth selling, look into it. So where can you sell stuff online? Well, there's lots of different sites that allow you to sell things like eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Facebook, Amazon, Craigslist, and many more. I couldn't cover all the places that you can sell things online here. There's just too many of them. Now, some of the sites that you can sell things online, let's talk a little bit more about them in detail. eBay, for example, there you can sell items via auction or you can sell unique goods. Etsy is really made for handmade or vintage items if you want to sell those. Facebook Marketplace is for local sales and they have minimal fees. And Poshmark is all around clothing resale. So, where can you sell stuff online? Product type. Well, different platforms cater to specific types of goods. Electronics are great for selling on Amazon, crafts on Etsy, or used clothing on Poshmark. And think about your audience reach. Consider how many buyers are on each site for the items that you're selling. Now, some factors to consider when choosing where to sell: fees. Of course, these places charge different fees. They charge listing fees, transaction fees, and so forth. That's how they make money. And also think about selling methods. Some platforms allow for fixed price sales, while others utilize auction systems like eBay. Remember, almost every site charges for something. So, how do you sell stuff online? Well, research the site you want to sell on, then set up an account and look at other sellers' accounts and see how they have their pages set up. If you make an Etsy page, go look at other people who have Etsy sites and see what they do. Same thing with eBay. Now, setting up an account to sell on eBay is pretty easy. You go to the eBay registration page, enter your name and email address, and create a password unless you're using Gmail, because Gmail password will work with eBay. Then select Create Account, enter your contact address and phone number, and select a personal account or a business account. Continuing on, then you enter the required details about your item, select Register, confirm your details, and add a payment method, and verify your identity. And then set up your account policies and upload your inventory of what you want to sell. You can create a listing on eBay by telling eBay what you're selling. You can add photos and video, which I strongly recommend. Provide titles and specify the category and add item specifics and variations. The more detail you have about the item you're selling, the more likely it'll actually sell. And you can eBay also takes a percentage of the final selling price and their fees, and the percentage depends on the item's category value and any other additional fees. You can sell a few items for free with a personal account, but you'll be charged a fee for each listing beyond the free limit. Now, how do you price what you're selling? Well, do some research on what you're selling. Use Google to check what other people are charging for what you want to sell, and then charge something similar to that. Now, some things to consider shipping. You've got to pack what you sell, and I always recommend making sure you have the buyer pay for shipping rather than getting stuck with that fee yourself. Consider everything involved in shipping when you're working on the price. The cost of mailing, the cost of insuring it. You definitely want to insure it because you don't want to lose money on that. And you don't want to lose money in shipping overall. So definitely keep track of all this stuff. And I strongly again recommend getting shipping on the insurance on the package. And make sure you get paid in full before you ship anything. Sometimes people will try to get you to ship something without paying in full. Never, ever, ever do that. Make sure you have your money before you ship. Security and safety. Now, limit what you share. Security experts recommend that you don't offer your full name or full contact information, including your address. Be careful about that sort of stuff. And if you're selling on Facebook, it's worth clicking on the person who's interested in buying, their name, scrolling through their profile to make sure it looks like a real profile. If it's a certain group page, make sure that that person looks to be someone who really joined that group, has an active account, not just a fake profile. And finally, if you don't feel good about it, don't sell. And be careful what you tell the seller. Be careful what info you share about whether or not you're alone at home. Remember, when you're instant messaging or emailing sellers, they aren't your friends, so be careful what information you share. And remember, you don't know the person you're corresponding with, so just be careful. And you can sell locally on sites like Craigslist. If you decide to meet the buyer, make sure it's in a public place with lots of people around. Make sure they pay you in full before giving them the item. And again, it should be a place where you feel safe. Now, there are some resources for selling online. There are plenty of YouTube videos that give tips for selling online. And most of the sales sites like eBay and Etsy have guides for selling as well. They have lots of great information on those sites. And the library most likely has books on how to sell online as well. And Senior Planet has free classes online about selling online. So thank you for your time. And I hope you got something out of this class. And remember, we're here to help. Don't be afraid to contact Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services, where you can contact our support center and get assistance with different things. Take care and have a good day. And I hope you got something out of this lesson.